Hi everyone and welcome back to Saving Christmas series. In this series we're going through the creation of my Saving Christmas game that I made in the run up to Christmas. You can download all the assets required for this project in the link below in the description. In this episode we're going to work on how to make the player traverse between one level to the next, so indicating when we've won a level and then allowing the player to travel. We're also going to fix a couple of bugs that I've noticed during testing. So let's get started on by fixing those bugs. So the first bug is to do with these presents. Now the presents at the moment, if I were to walk over them and collect them, it will animate and disappear. However, the mesh may have animated and shrunken down into nothing. The capsule will still remain. So if I was to overlap it again, I'll continue earning gifts, which is not correct. So what I'm going to do is go into my actors and find my present character. And in here, after we get the finished, and we're doing this get game mode, blah, 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 what I'm going to do is destroy it. So I'm going to go from finished here, destroy actor, disconnect it from the code we had prior to that, and that is now going to go onto an event called destroyed. So when it is destroyed, it'll go get the game mode, add the present, and update the UI. Now, because it's removed, it won't ever get that bug. The other thing I went in and fixed was the moving platforms. So where I made the platform, the timeline, I forgot to change the length. It kept it at 6. So I updated that to 10, so it covers the whole entire length of this. But also I made an error that I had this like 2-second wait time here and here. Obviously it's looping, so it's going to go up, get to the end, and then immediately start moving back. And then I have a 4-second wait because we've got 2 seconds here, and the loop will go to another 2 seconds. So instead of doing that, I want 2 seconds here and then back down. So I'm going to remove this node here, or not remove it, just move it up really. So I'm going to move it from 8 to a value of 1 and tell that to be a linear, tell this one to be linear, and that flattens out this. I can then tell this one to go auto to get that curve back, like so. And I want this to be 2 seconds after this one, so this one is set to basically 5, so this one would be 7. Okay, and that should give us a nice, more even ride. So when it gets to the end here, it immediately pauses for 2 seconds, then travels 2 seconds, travel 2 seconds, and so forth. So there, the bugs fixed. We're now going to take a look at making our level transfer between one and the other. So for this, I'm going to go load up level 1. Let's start there. So I've already imported in, and you want to do the same. I've imported in my chimney. So the exit portal is going to be a chimney, and it's going to have a little animation. You want to import it with those animations. Okay, so it'll pop up like so out the ground, ready for the player to jump on and be teleported to the next level. So we are going to need to create an actor for this. So go into our actors folder and create a new blueprint class, actor. And we call this the chimney. I hope I spell it correctly. There we go. And in here, we're going to add the static mesh, or no, skeletal mesh, sorry. Skeletal mesh. And choose our chimney. Compile that, and let's just see how that looks in game. So just drag it out into the world, like so. And yeah, that looks like it'd be an okay size. So with our chimney, we're also going to need a box collision on it to detect when the player is on top of it. So here I'm just going to make a box like so. And that would do for that. Next, I want to tell the skeletal mesh to be actually no, we'll leave it as is for now. We'll come back to that in a moment. I was going to tell it to set scale to 0, so it's basically invisible, but we'll worry about that later. on the event graph here, on begin play, we're going to take it to play an animation on this skeletal mesh. And I'm going to choose the chimney anim. And it'll play once, and that's it. Okay, so let's test that out. I'm just going to put a chimney next to the Santa at the start of this map, like so. And there you saw it popped up, ready for Santa to be able to jump on it. Would help if I had some collision on it though. So let's go into our character and add our character, our mesh, and tell it. Oh no, it's already got on there. We just tell it on the actor. So on the actor, we need to click on skeletal mesh here. Scroll down to find collision. It's currently set to no collision, so I'm going to change that to block all dynamic. So now I should be able to jump on top of it. Like so. Cool. So when I do that, we're going to make Santa teleport into the chimney. So let's get that teleportation effect working. Okay. So on the chimney, we're going to click on the box collision and right click and go overlap. And you'll look for begin overlap event, add on component begin overlap. So this happens when anything actually enters that box. So the first thing we do is check the other actor, and we want to see if it's equal to the player character. I don't think we need to cast it, but we'll see how we get on. So I put it into a branch, so it only affects the player character when they jump on it. When that is the case, and it's true, I'm going to tell the other actor here to disable input. We want the player to not be able to move off of it. So get player controller. After that, we need to tell the Santa to shrink down into the chimney. Okay. So first thing we do is just basically tell it just to go downwards. So I'm going to get the other actor here. And I'm going to cast it now because I need to get the mesh, don't I? Yeah, we need to cast it. Cast to Santa. In fact, let's put that at the start instead of this branch malarkey. Cast to Santa. And plug that into there like so. So once we've disabled the input, we're going to tell it now to tell that the game is over, or like the Santa's entered it. Okay. So on here, we're going to go variables, new variable, Santa entered. And we want to set that to being true at the end here. Then we're going to go to tick event. And on the tick event, we can go get Santa entered, branch, and we're going to do a interp 2, and we want a v interp 2. Okay, and the v interp 2 is going to basically move the Santa character to the location that we want it to move to, basically the center. So the current location is going to be get player character and get location. That goes to the current. The target location is going to be a location of the box. We'll do that, and we'll do get location. And put that into target. The delta time is going to come from the tick, and interp speed we'll do as 5. This will output a new vector, and for that vector we're going to tell the player character, so I'll copy that over here. We're going to set location to actor location to our return value there, and hit compile. So hit play, and you should see starting to get moved to the top middle of the game, of the chimney. Do it again, There you go. So I want it a bit lower than that. So we're going to go into Chimney, get this world location. We're going to split that. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. We just do on here and go minus. And I want to minus something to Z. I want to minus, say, 100. Put that in the target. Okay. And then he moves to the center. Shift F1. Let's have a look. Okay. Don't seem to be going down. Let's make that value a bit more extreme. So minus, let's do 500. Oh, too much. 200. Just going to keep tweaking it until we get a nice value we like. Not too bad. Need to tell Santa to have no collision. So on my chimney over here, once we disable the input, I'm going to get grab Santa here and set collision. And we're going to go set on the capsule component, no collision. Okay, so it's pumping him down. That's because, okay, I see what happened there. So we don't need to do that take away now, because what was going on before was the capsule component was stopping us from going to where we want the Santa to go. So when I jump on it now, oh, it'll put him into the chimney. Test that out again, make sure there's no jankiness. Let's try going from a different angle. Oh. Let's try going from up here. It works sometimes, but for some reason there's an occasional jank. So let's try dropping down onto it. Okay. And let's try jumping down onto it. Okay, well, we'll leave it as is because it works most of the time. We can try and figure out the actual issue later on. Okay, so once we've got that, we're going to we're going to put a delay at the end of this overlap here. So we're going to delay. And we're going to do a delay of how long it takes for that movement to happen. So we're going to go duration of, say, let's do 2 seconds. And we'll make a custom event here called teleport Santa. And we're going to, actually we don't need to do a delay, we can just do a triggerable thing. Set timer by event. Two seconds. It's not looping, you just teleport Santa. On our custom event, we're going to add our Santa animation. So I've imported in my Santa animation for his teleport. So it just shrinks down. And what we're going to do is tell it to play that animation. So first of all, we have to get the player character. Cast that to Santa in particular. And then as Santa, get mesh. And that's right at the bottom here. And I'm going to tell it to play animation. And I'm going to tell it to play the teleport. Okay, so let's see how that is looking. There you go. So once it's played the teleport, we then want to tell the game to load up the next level. Okay, so after that, we're going to go back into our Chimney, play animation, and then we're going to delay for however long that animation takes. I think I've done it for 45 frames, so about 1.5 seconds. So I'm going to give it a 2-second delay before we go open level, and you can put it in the next level name. So level name we're going to actually load up is going to be a variable, in fact. So we go next level, and the next level is going to be a text or name, sorry, and we'll make it editable and exposed on spawn. We're going to drag that into a level name here and hit compile. So basically what it means is when we spawn one of these into the world, we can actually set what level it's going to open up here. So if I just put in here level 2, hit play, this time actually doing it properly, there we go. Now load up the next level. Okay. So next we want to make it so that when we collect all 3, it knows when we collect all 3 and then teleports us to the next level with a chimney. So when we click the present, we're going to make it call an event dispatcher. And on the event dispatcher, we are going to, should we do on the event dispatcher? Yes, we will. So on the event dispatcher here, we'll go present collected, and we're going to call that over here. Then on the level blueprint, we're going to do something similar to what we've done here, where we bound an event to the presence. So after we bind the event to all this stuff, so we want to begin play still. So at the end of here, we're going to get all actors of class, and we're going to do present, and for each of those, and that's why it's important to have the presents all in the level at the start, just hidden away from the player, so we can call this up. So for each one of these, we're now going to bind event to present collected, and the event is going to be the calling of a new level. So on the event here, we're going to go and create a custom event, spawn chimney, and the spawn chimney is going to do a spawn actor from class, choose the chimney actor, and you can see here next level has appeared as a exposed parameter. That's because we tick expose on spawn. The location for this is going to be the same as what we've done here for the present spawning on the candy cane stuff. We can copy that and paste that down here and plug that into our transform. And the level name, no, we can type in whatever we like in here. So I'm going to go to level 2. So when I eventually spawn chimney, this will teleport me to level 2. I then want to go into level 2 and do exactly the same. So to save a bit of time, I can actually copy a lot of that code. So open level blueprint, and I'm going to copy this and this and this. Copy that. Go into my level 2 map and go to the level blueprint here. Find your begin play, which is over here. And we're going to plug that in like so. Make sure it looks a bit tidier. A bit more easy to read. Okay, but this one is going to teleport us to the boss level. I think that's what I called it. Let's have a look. Boss level, yes. And hit play. and we can go ahead and test that out over time. Okay, cool. So that's what we'll do later. So that's all there and all done. So now it will teleport us between level 1 to level 2 and level 2 to boss level. In the next videos, we're going to start work on our boss. So show the boss level. The boss level looks as such, and we're going to be fighting Jack Frost, this snowman creature. Okay, so we're going to set up the boss character, their phases of the fight, and how that will work. So join us in that next episode right now over on Patreon. Thank you to all my patrons for their support for this year, and look forward to seeing what else we can do in the next year ahead. Big thank you to everyone for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe and follow, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.